Today we are doing a rapid airfield seizure. We have two M1A1 tank platoons as well as a mechanized infantry platoon. We are facing off against a company of Soviet forces as well as a T-72 platoon. So the first thing we're going to do is we pre-planned all of our artillery. We have smokes covering our southern flank. We have two on-call missions of DPICM, so dual purpose improvised cluster munitions. We're also adjusting for smoke closer to the objective so we can block our advance. And then down here we have one M1A1 tank platoon as well and several mortar squads. There is a law platoon down here, but they are, I believe, on foot. So it's going to take them quite some time to get into position in this house right here. Next, we're just going to move as fast as possible. We do have two A-10s on standby, well, two flights of A-10s, and we're moving in a column formation because realistically, we're coming down this roadway and down this road and into this main objective, at which point we will break off in either a line or an echelon. But we're trying to use as much cover as possible, but we're also going for a shock and awe sort of thing to get there as fast as possible, break through, secure the airfield, destroy any tanks that we come across, and have a good time. So everyone's going to start moving into position. We're going to watch it from ISO. We don't need to call any of our strikes in quite yet, but we are actually going to work with our mortar platoons right here, and I do want them to start calling in smoke. So let's just do that. Let's just fire for effect. Let's click these guys as well. Fire for effect. Put a few rounds down range. And then what that's going to do, that's going to smoke some of this up. We don't have any eyes on. We do have some, what these are some anti-tank units up here. They're kind of keeping a watch. I'm going to try and get them to move a little forward and into a better position. It's going to take them a little bit of time to get there, but our companies are trying to get into position first. That smoke's doing a wonderful, wonderful job. Smoke is beginning to fall. And we're actually going to call, our smokes look to be a little off target as well. So if we go to our fire mission real quick, we could actually call this in. So this first one's ready. So let's just fire. Let's get that smoke going a little bit. And once all our cover is into position, we're just going to move into a different formation. We're going to go into a line, and we're actually going to dismount. So we're going to click on our SOPs, and we're actually going to dismount. Unload on contact, yes. We're not going to turn our smoke generators on, so we're not going to dismount quite yet. I don't want them dismounted, but once they get into contact, they will dismount. We're also going to pre-plan a lot of our air support because that might take some time to come in. And let's just get everything going. All right, and here comes our dual-purpose improvised clusters. So we're saturating this area. Not quite sure why these are coming in. I thought I called in my smokes first. 5 minutes to air support. No contact as of yet. So they are definitely holding off, if anything else, and allowing us to secure this position. It's interesting we do have this unidentified unit right here. So let's move our M1s into another contact just forward of this position. We're going to change the formation to echelon or a line. Get all of that forward-facing firepower. Strangely enough, we have no contact. So let's keep adjusting our formations as well. All right, still some hostiles right here. Some friendly units. Lots of friendly units on the battlefield. Lots of smoke on the battlefield. So that could be the main reason why we're not running into anyone quite yet. But we'll run into plenty of people here in a moment. I have a pretty good feeling about that. Just like that, right? So there's a small unit down here. It looks like our law platoon is giving this wheeled vehicle a trouble. So that should be good. They're being engaged by some other units as well. So hopefully we can put some rounds down range and get rid of this vehicle and get it off the battlefield. That's for sure. Oh, they're like, that guy's not having a good time. And this is from our headquarters unit, which we need to move forward here in a moment. So hopefully we get some penetration going there, but we are going to slowly move across this battlefield. It does feel a bit dangerous to me, but let's advance to contact. Try and use some of these things for cover. Like try and stay behind some of these trees. And just keep moving forward. Smoke's doing good. We're going to keep maintaining everything. We're going to readjust our artillery if anything else. Once we do that readjust, we'll be able to, we're all out of smokes, but at least we'll have some high explosives on standby. So we'll just set a high explosive there for right now. We're all out of smokes. Pushing forward, let's get our mechanized units forward as well. I keep doing that thing where I like double tap them all. They're all going to move forward here in a moment. No contact as of yet. That smoke must really be saturating the battlefield. So let's see what everyone's doing. They can't really secure this objective. We're moving into it right now. And once we do that, we'll have both objectives and we'll basically secure everything on our end. But I do know there's quite a large presence of enemy units. We're just waiting for them to show face. And if they're going to let us hold this position, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to push. All right, so we finally have contact taking fire. So there is a small unit down here, but we know he's down here. I'm surprised this law unit isn't taking care of him, but he's just going to have a bad time. We could call, all right, he's been completely destroyed. Simple enough for us, so let's keep moving. Here comes our A-10, which is unfortunate. I was hoping we'd have some contact by now. He spots nothing, which is interesting. I guess just doing a morale flyover. I don't really want to advance into our area, that's for sure. Everyone's basically dismounted. Our troops are on deck. We're just holding this position. So what's going on here? All right, let's slow it down. It looks like the enemy's trying to come up our rear for some reason. So I guess that's one way to do it. It looks like they completely came around, so let's pop some smoke. They are... So let's pull these guys back. So it's interesting. They're trying to come up this flank. I don't know why they would choose to do that right now. It looks like they're completely avoiding everything we have for them. I mean, we've secured the airfield, but there's a company of infantry over on this battlefield. I know that for a fact. So let's see if we can track some of these guys down, this hostile force, and figure out where they're at. I'd be quite confused if they all just tried to come around like this southern flank because there's no objectives down there. So it'd be interesting to see like the AI just try and use this terrain that doesn't exist to secure these objectives that aren't here. So we have the objective, but the issue is we don't have the AI. Like we've only come across a few small units. So we're not sure what they're doing. So we have another enemy spotted right there. It seems like I positioned all the AI to move towards the objective, and the AI did the absolute opposite of what it's supposed to be doing. And I don't know why. So let's see what we get. Like, eventually they're going to have to come up here to move to secure it. So we'll move our anti-tank units into position to get more forward of the objective. We're going to sit here. We lost one M1 Abrams. We're currently watching the direction they're coming from. Our A-10 saw something. This doesn't make any goddamn sense. So do we make a spot right there? How do you hide an entire company of infantry as well as like a T-72 tank platoon? Well, that was quite the battle. Makes no sense. So we're just watching the enemy like flounder down here. And then we're trying to figure out like what they're doing and why they're not pushing the objective. We don't really know what happened down here because I just sped through it. So we're going to see what happened. So here we go. We move up our forces. Is the AI broken? So we move 3 tanks down here. That's not what this is supposed to look like. But maybe they just got shredded. Like maybe that platoon just didn't happen right. Huh, interesting.